Welcome to Hair Biz Radio with your host Zakiyrah and Chay Rodriguez. Back again, right? Mikey is still enjoying himself out in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. And today we have a special guest joining us, Miss Nene Couture. She is the founder of Healthy Hair Gang, and she is an Atlanta-based stylist out here. Actually, in the heart of Atlanta. Yeah, she's located in the heart of Atlanta. I actually came across Nene on Instagram a couple weeks ago, and I went to see her to get my hair done, and I loved it. I just love how passionate she is about healthy hair, natural hair, and then everything that she's doing and that she's built is amazing. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into her story. How are you, Nene?
I'm great. I'm excited to be here.
Well, you look good.
Thank you. Just for y'all.
Yes, it's gloomy outside, but you got the neon.
Right.
That was the whole point. Yeah. I have to bring my sunshine with me. So
yes, sunshine. I love that. So just tell us a little bit about Nene. Who are you?
Nene. I was just thinking on the way here, I was like, a lot of people like to say I am hair, like I am what I do. But as I'm getting older, I'm realizing like hair is just what I do. It's not who I am. Mm-hmm. And I'm just realizing that and just trying to figure out exactly who I am. Are. Like I'm still doing that.
And that's okay. I think a lot of people are still figuring out who it is we are. Like we know what we do. We know what we want to do. But like who are we at the core? Mm-hmm. If everything was to be taken away from us, if we couldn't do anything with our hands, our legs, right. Or if we couldn't think about certain stuff, like who would we actually be?
Exactly. So... But yes, Nene has been doing hair professionally for 15 years. Wow. 15 years. I owned a salon for 10 years in my hometown of Macon, Georgia.
Okay.
Shout out to Macon. And then one day I just woke up and I was just like, this is not quite what I'm supposed to be doing to my fullest potential, and this is not where I'm supposed to be doing it. So that particular day I was like, I'm going to move. Mm-hmm. So I had a plan, and a year later, I moved to Atlanta, started over from scratch. Didn't have any clients here. I just said, I just wanted to move to a new area, and I just made it happen.
How was that? Like, what was that thought process? Like, okay, I'm going to move. I don't have any safety net under me. I'm just going to go. Like, on faith, I'm just going. What was, like, some thoughts that were going through your head, or how were you able to make it? Because you made it.
Exactly. I mean, there was some preparation there. I prepared for 12 months. I gave up my place. Mm-hmm. I moved in with my parents. Mm-hmm. I had a son as well, and at that time, I was still currently married.
Okay.
So, kind of was going through that whole transition in my marriage, and I was scared to just move my son. I knew I could make it work and make it happen. I just didn't know quite how.
Right.
So I just did it. I just jumped, and I was like, it has to happen. And like God just kept bringing people in my pathway to just kind of show me, okay, this is what you should be doing. This is the way you should be going.
Yeah.
It wasn't like no bumps in the road. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. But it was I felt like I was just doing the right thing. Life just sometimes year after year after year, and before you know it, you're not really doing what you want to be doing, right, or doing it to the potential you want to be doing that. So you have to at some point say, hey, like, let me stop this train. I want to go a different direction. So that's pretty much what I did. Yeah. And people were here and they opened their, salons to me, and I just kind of sold myself because I didn't have any clients. As you know, you talk to a salon owner and they want you to come with business.
Clientele, yes.
And I just sold myself. I was like, I have a few clients. I didn't have any, but I figured I could get some real quick, So, that's just how I started.
Can we just go back a little bit? When you were in Macon, did you feel like a sense of unrest or like an extreme, like kind of uncomfort when you knew that it was your time to make that transition? Was it subtle? Like, was it like subtle steps that you were like, oh, maybe, I should make a change? Or was like, no, I'm miserable here. I need to make a change?
It was so, now that I look back, I would always change my salon. No matter what I did, it wasn't enough. I wasn't satisfied with. I would change the decor. I would do this. I even changed the name. My dad was just like, this girl is going crazy. Now I realize, looking back, I was doing all that because it wasn't the place, it was me. It was time for me to move on, and I kept trying to change the place. So it was something that just, like, I was booked and busy.
Yeah.
Way before Instagram. Yeah. Before booked and busy was known, I was booked and busy. So it wasn't that. It wasn't that I didn't have the clients. It wasn't that I wasn't loved by my clients or I didn't love my clients. It just was something was very unsettling in me. And I was just like, you know what? I got to go.
I feel like that's so courageous. Because I feel like a lot of people would say, well, if I'm booked and busy, I don't want to seem ungrateful.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if I'm booked and busy, I'm blessed, so I don't want to make a change. But, like, there's something inside of you that knew, like, I'm booked and busy, but I could be booked, busy, blessed. In Barbados. Like,
yes, come on, BB. Yes. Getting back to, okay, so when you were in Macon, I've seen a lot of people in our Started Hair Business group, you know, they'll make comments or they'll make posts and say, well, I haven't got it started in my hair business, or I haven't, you know, went to school yet because either my husband, my boyfriend, my family, my siblings, they're not supporting me the way that I want to be supported. And I don't know if I should do it because I don't have the strength to just leap out and do it. So when you were in, you know, your marriage or in with your, in Macon with your family, what was your support system like? And if you weren't supported, how did you keep going? And if you were, you know, what were the benefits of having that support system?
Well, for one, my family and my parents have always been very supportive of anything that I've done. Me and my dad are very close, and of course, we had conjoining businesses. My parents own a boutique that they've owned for over 20 years. And of course, they didn't want me to leave.
Yeah.
Especially my dad did not want me to leave. And but he knew that when I got my mind made up about something, there was nothing that he could do. Yeah. So at that point, they were pretty supportive about helping me with my son, still helping me with my business. Because mind you, when I moved, I didn't have any clients, so I had to live.
Yeah.
So I would commute there twice a week.
Whew.
I did that for 2 years.
Wow.
And was working at Buckhead at a salon that gave me a chance. So I still had the salon and stylist that I was trying to manage. So it was a lot. It was a big transition, and it was still hard to let go. So that was me holding on still to that security.
Yeah.
And one day, God just said, okay, enough is enough.
Yeah.
And I just stopped one day. And I told my clients, I said, well, I'm going to be done in a few months with coming. It was hard because that was like, I felt like I was disappointing my clients. So really, honestly, that was the only reason I was still going. But it was crippling me for meeting my potential here in Atlanta. Yeah. So it was like I had my feet, one foot in this door and one foot in that door. And it just came to a time I had to make a decision. So I remember telling my clients, I have maybe 3 more months. And then God said, no, this is your last week. And it was my last week.
Yeah. So when you came to Atlanta, you were at a salon in Buckhead. So I know you mentioned that you didn't go the hair school route. So a lot of people think that you have to go to hair school to become a licensed stylist. So talk to us a little bit about what route you took and what are some of the advantages, disadvantages of doing both?
Okay. So mind you, I started working in a salon as an assistant in, I want to say, the 9th grade in high school.
Yeah.
So I worked for a stylist maybe for about 2 years. And then my clientele grew so much I could no longer assist in the salon with her. So I was a kitchen-tician. Full-time. Well, yeah, full-time pretty much. You know, when I got out of school, like, they was waiting. And I think back now, like, my parents never complained. Like, it was people in the house at 11 midnight at night. They would come home from work and speak and go into the bedroom.
Wow.
Like, hair would always be all over the kitchen, but they just never, you know, they just never complained. They just let me do my thing.
Yeah.
And
the route that you took instead of hair school.
So I already had kind of like salon experience. So when I went back into the salon as an assistant again after, college and after dropping out of college and all that stuff, I was like, you know what, let me just go back to what I know. So they just said, hey, you can do an apprenticeship. So what an apprentice is, you work up under a licensed stylist until you get a certain amount of hours that's required by the state. And that's pretty much what I did. Turned in my hours, got in salon training. So that was my route to getting a license. Yeah. Now, I did enter into a school to prepare for my test, because there's just a lot of things that you just don't learn in the salon that you need to know. You have to know the book work. Right. You have to be able to pass your test. So would I recommend that? No.
No. Okay.
Because you have to backtrack. The thing is, you got to backtrack what you didn't learn. And I just feel like if it's something you really want to do, take that year to go to school full time and get it done. Okay. That was just my route, and it worked for me, but I wouldn't really recommend that for anybody.
You mentioned that you dropped out of college.
I did.
What was your parents' reaction to that?
I think at that time, they just wanted me to do whatever it is you want to do, just do it.
Something.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, I was doing hair in the dorms. So I was doing more hair than studying.
Styling.
And that was at Clark Atlanta. So I was there
Shout out
2
to
years.
The CAU.
I was doing hair in the dorm room. So and I was
said
like,
that they were entrepreneurs as well, because they owned a boutique.
Yes.
And they've owned it for 20 years. Do you think that, like, just seeing that, I know we're like big Jay-Z fans. So like 444, he talks about, like, being able to build monetary wealth and showing his
generational
kids,
wealth.
That showing his kids that you can build your own. Do you think seeing your parents do that kind of helped you to know that you wanted to grow your business?
I was definitely a breaded entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not my parents, it's my several members of my family. Yeah. So my grandparents had a farm. I mean, like a very big farm. So that's just kind of, you sowed and then you reap. So that's just kind of, I didn't have a choice. Like, I don't even know if I would choose this life if I had a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's work.
It's hard.
It's work. It's worth it, though. I take that back. I probably would choose it. But it chose me in the beginning. It chose me. And then as I got older, then I accepted the call. Because sometimes I would see other people, like in high school, they worked at Burger King and Crystal's. I was like, dang, they got jobs. And I'm just sitting here doing hair, making $500 a week.
Doing good, because they weren't making $500 a week. Not at Burger King.
Oh, no, they were not
in high
making
school.
But I just thought it was cool because, they had a job.
Yeah.
And I took my talent for granted.
Yeah. I think a lot of times we look at society and like what other people are doing, and it kind of stunts our thinking. Like, okay, they have a 9-to-5 job, or maybe not 9-to-5, but they have a job where they go clock in somewhere, and that's discounting, an entrepreneur. I'm making more money than they're making, but they have a job. And I think it's just a mindset thing.
It is. It is. So, I didn't choose it. It definitely chose me. So, it wasn't a big disappointment, for my parents when I didn't go the college route. Yeah. And, honestly, like you see a lot of celebrities getting degrees now. But the thing is, they created wealth, then they want to pay for their degree.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't pay and be in debt.
Yeah.
And then try to go back and pay for the right. You know what I'm saying?
His girlfriend.
Right. So
me and Sally Mae.
Right. Girl, yes.
So honestly, I do have that desire to finish my degree. But I want to make my millions first, and then you don't have the pressure, the financial, strain.
Yeah.
Right. And that way I can just pay them. Hey, I can pay for school and get my degree and be done.
Yep. So, let's talk about, you owned a salon, and then now you're in, Atlanta, you're in a salon suite. What was that transition like, or what would you recommend? Because I know there's a lot of hassle that comes with owning a salon. So what was, I guess, the difference between owning a salon and being in a suite? And like, what are some of the pressures that you don't have to deal with, that you had to deal with when you owned a salon?
Okay, so let's kind of back up a little bit.
Okay.
So after I owned my salon, or was still owning salon, the salon that I came to work in Atlanta was commissioned.
Gotcha.
So I was working for someone,
right,
and still owned a salon that I went to.
Okay.
So that was a transition.
Yeah.
But I'm the type of person I can like blend in with any type of environment.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind having a boss. Like, I wanted to learn.
Right.
Like, they were operating a very successful commission-based salon that I had never experienced. So not only am I working and doing hair, I'm looking and I'm learning.
Yeah. So your salon was booth rent?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
It was a booth rental salon, 8-station salon.
Okay.
And so this was pretty much like a 12-station, 10-station commission salon, just like professional, top notch. So I was learning a lot, you know. That was just something that I never saw before. Most of the salons where I came from were just, booth rental salons, structure. So that was very interesting. I had to wait on a paycheck every 2 weeks. And I had to be on time, which I was still kind of late sometimes. But they let me slide because they knew when I got there, I was going to work. And I was going to do my job. And I wasn't going to call no trouble. I'm here to work, As far as a suite, this is my first time being in a suite.
Okay.
And I like it because I still am not ready to jump back into that salon ownership world yet. I still am grooming myself on the business side and just still trying to decide if that's what I want. So I'm happy in my suite. I like it because even though I'm successful at what I'm doing, I can still be intimate. Sometimes people look at your Instagram and they like, oh, she got a gazillion clients and they think you just gonna be like a revolving door, like in and out, but it's one person in there at a time in that chair, and you can kind of give them that attention, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour. So I like the intimacy of the suite.
I think a lot of people look at salons and they're like, oh, I want to be a salon owner, I want to own a salon, but I don't want the work that comes with owning a salon.
I guess I'm not in a rush now because I've been there and I've done that. So when I do it again, it's gonna be like A1, 5-star commission. I don't think I would ever do a booth rental salon again. So it have to be commission. So when you're dealing with commission, that's a serious business. So
what I love about your story, just that one particular part, was that you checked your ego. Like you went from being an owner to then going into I'm gonna learn and I'm gonna be humble, I'm gonna trust the process. And then I'm not even going to jump into, after that stage, I'm not going to jump into owning a salon again. I'm going to go into a suite. I'm still going to learn, still going to be humble, still going to have cultivate a one-on-one relationship with my client. Like, I love that. And I feel like a lot of people sometimes forget to check their ego at certain stages.
Oh, yeah. That's good, Shay. The student always has to be a teacher, but the teacher always still has to be a student because it's a revolving learning door that you have to go through. So let's talk a little bit about, sometimes they say that hairstylists or people in the hair industry, they're very knowledgeable about hair. Like, they're very knowledgeable about that. But the business side, they're not knowledgeable about, or like the finances, because, stylists, they get cash a lot. So maybe they're not using a bank account, or, how did you learn or how are you learning how to be more business minded when it comes to your business in the hair industry?
Just taking the time to do the work. I now have 3 days off, and those are administrative days.
Gotcha.
Those are the days to sit down, get that paperwork done, make sure the taxes in order. That comes with maturity. Yeah. Because in this industry, it's a dangerous thing for a person that's financially ignorant when you can go to a job broke and you can leave with $1,000 in one day. That's dangerous. Because then you develop the mind state, there's always going to be more. So I may not have to save, if I see this bag I want that's $1,000, or I can just make that in a day and I can go buy this bag I want, or I can go buy this outfit I want, or I can go on a vacation that I really can't afford because I got to work and then go. So that's dangerous. And a lot of us creative people are in that
cycle.
So that's when you just have to get to the point where you want to know better so you can do better. So that just comes as you get older and you start wanting things. You start getting tired. You start not wanting to work 12 hours a day. And you only want to work 5 or 6. And you see that money doesn't, equal out to working all day. So that just comes with being an adult, wanting to, purchase homes and cars, and you realize, oh, my business is not in order.
Yeah.
So that's when that wake-up call comes in. Yeah. So that's just, and I also think that comes from teaching. We don't teach our children about money and finances.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so true. Now I explain everything to my 11-year-old son. About purchasing a home, car. When he asks questions, I tell him what he wants to know. So when he goes to college, his first time he hears something about a credit card, it will be from me.
Yeah.
And not from
Capital One.
Exactly. Sending $1,000 and thinking, oh my God, $1,000, it's free.
I think in the African American community, we don't get, I'm not going to say everyone, but a lot of families in the African American community, we don't get that credit training or how to, be good with finances and stuff like that. Because I know when I got to college, I credit carded it up. Really? Okay. Yes.
I was eating out like we was like balling out. But $1,000 can only take you so far.
Exactly.
And mind you, I didn't have a job.
Exactly. To pay it off.
Right. So then what?
Exactly. Yeah. So let's dive a little bit into like your clientele. You're very well known on Instagram. You have a great following. What are some of the things? How did you build your clientele? Like, how did you build your brand? So when people come to your page, they're like, "Oh, I like how she has that," or "Oh, like I heard of Nene, like she does that." Like, how were you able to build your brand? Because there's people who are struggling in the hair industry or as stylists who are struggling to build their brands, or create clients and not customers.
Okay, number one, when I got here, the first 2 years were kind of like trial and error because I do have experience in a lot of things, extensions. Mind you, I've been doing hair for 15 years. So, of course, I did relaxers for a very long time, cuts and curls. So when I got here, I just wanted to show everybody, like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And then you just get lost in the sauce.
Yeah, lost in the sauce.
So I was like, what? I just had to figure it out. And I said, well, this is what I love. I heard a stylist say some stylists have attitudes because they doing styles they don't even like to do just because of the dollar.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, you're right. Some things you just, because the client asked.
Yeah.
You so scared to refer them to another stylist.
Yeah.
Because you're scared to miss $1. Like, that's just not the way it should be.
Yeah.
So I decided I wanted to just focus on my gift and my love for natural hair and just a transformation from texture to press. That's what I liked to do. So once I started doing it, and of course I was very good at it, people started noticing. And then what I noticed about Atlanta is that everyone wants to go to someone that's the best at something.
Yeah.
Whether it's extensions, shortcuts, when they go to your page, that's all they want to see.
Yeah.
Like, if I decide to cut my hair short, get a relaxer today, like, I'm not going to someone that she got a little braid, she got a little silk press over here. No, I want to go, I want
specialize in them shortcuts.
I need to know you're an expert.
Right. Before I cut all this hair off. Right. So, okay, so
it's just as far as like you building your brand, especially on Instagram, I noticed what you're successfully able to do is interject your own personal pictures onto your page as well. I know that's something that people struggle with.
Mixing.
You want to show customers, like, I'm a real person. This is me. Know about me so you can buy into me. But then you don't want it to be too much like, this is all me and you don't see any of my work. How did you figure out that balance?
I think in the beginning, I wanted to push the hair to get their attention. And then once I got the attention, then I could start plugging in a little bit about me. Because that's what I'm struggling with now is how much of yourself to give to people.
Yeah, I think people still need to know that you're human. You know, you're real. You still have fun. You're still them.
People do want to know that. So that's kind of the balance that I'm creating now.
Yeah.
Now that people know what I do and how good I am at it, I don't really have to sell myself anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like I can share other aspects of my life. So that's kind of where I am now. Trying to find that balance.
I had a brain freeze, but so what I was hearing was basically, you know, if you're just getting into the hair industry, you should build your brand based off of that one thing that you're good at. Become an expert in that one area, and choose that niche, and then, you know, build off of that. And then as you get bigger, you know, then you can start spreading out, and, you know, maybe doing sew-ins or, you know, cuts and colors and stuff like that.
Right. You can be good at all those things, but to create a lane, because the industry is just so loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to create a lane and get people's attention, to be able to show your gift.
Yeah.
You know, be an expert in something, and then when they become a client, they're going to be so in love with you, they're not going to want to go anywhere else. So then that's when you let them know, well, hey, I do sew-ins too, or I do this too, you know. Yeah. And then, bam, there it is.
Yeah.
So we'll remix the phrase, jack of all trades, master of one. So like jack of all trades, master of one.
Exactly.
I like that. Yeah. So you basically became an expert in the healthy hair realm. So you've studied healthy hair. You wore natural hair.
I have healthy hair.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, you have healthy hair. So talk to us a little bit about I guess your passion behind healthy hair, how you created this healthy hair gang, and talk to us about that.
I think where that came from is when clients would come, or we'll just say potential clients would come in, I just started realizing how damaged everyone's hair was. Yeah. Or, you know, how much neglect they were putting into it, because we all want to, you know, look like Beyonce sometimes. Yeah. You know, it's just something about getting those tracks in. Yeah. You know, you just become somebody else. But not at the expense of your real hair. That should be first and foremost. Yeah. So I think that's kind of where that was birthed from. Like, look, okay, y'all. Like, tracks and extensions and wigs are all fun and games. Yeah. But what happens if you can't get to that? What happens if your funds run short and you can't get a weave? Then what? You know? And you have to go to work, or you have an interview to go to. Like, what are you going to do then? So first things first. And we're not talking about the people that may have some type of sickness or something's going on, or, you know, alopecia. Like, we're talking about self-inflicted
we're talking about me, okay? Because I will wear weave, okay? And I have hair on my head, and I just be like, no, I don't want to wear my hair.
Yeah. But then we take that frontal off. I had a frontal a couple weeks ago. You take that frontal off, you see them bald spots, and you be like, Lord.
Right. I would just wear my hair. Lord Jesus. Okay. So healthy hair gang, hashtag healthy hair gang, by the way.
Yes, hashtag healthy hair gang, yeah. So now I'm kind of about to do a campaign. This is just like a sneak peek. Okay. It's bigger than hair, because it is bigger than hair.
I like that.
So you see so many people attracting, you know, just trying to advertise. Not really advertise, but they want to promote how you can be great in your industry, how you can make more money, how you can get more clients, how you can, you know. Yeah. But now it's about the balance of life. You know, people have kids, you have husbands. You can make all the money in the world, but that's not going to make you happy per se. Right. And when you are booked and busy and you're at work all day, how does that affect your family life? Exactly. How does that affect your health? You're working, you're not exercising, you're not eating right because you are booked and busy. Yeah. What happens then? Yeah. So my thing is now is like balance of life, how to have something other than just work. Right. Yeah. So that's kind of like bigger than hair. Yeah. It's bigger than hair.
So with the Healthy Hair Gang products, talk to us a little bit about the products. Talk to us about the products, what you're using in the products. Like, is it organic? Is it natural? Like, what? You don't have to go into detail about everything that's in there. But
that's my baby. I just gave birth, and it's still a baby. It's still growing. My initial thing was I love going to the spa. Like, so when I decided to do a product line, I was like, okay, it has to have like lavender and sage and all those type of, ingredients. So when I sat down, with the chemist and everyone, I was just like, this is what it has to smell like. This is what it has to have in it. I just wanted to bring, when you use the product, you just kind of get a sense of peace and comfort. And experience, not just like your typical, shampoo. So that was my whole thought when I created it, along with ingredients that would help with, moisture, because that's what it is. Hello, moisture. So, because a lot of breakage is because of dryness. And so that's kind of where that came from. And it's been a journey. It's, the whole process was about 8 months. We'll say like 8 months. And a lot of people was like, you didn't say anything. You didn't tell anybody. We didn't know you were doing this. And it was just because, number one, I didn't believe I was doing it. And, sometimes you say things prematurely, and I didn't want to say anything to anybody, and then it fell through, or I ran out of money, or whatever. I was just like, I'm gonna just keep this to myself until it's done. And then when it was done, I was like, okay, what do I do now?
What's now? What do I do now?
What do I do now? Yeah, because I still can't believe that I did it. So it's a baby. It's still growing, and I'm nurturing it, taking care of it, and I'm excited. So now I'm at the point where now this is bigger than me.
Right.
And I have to bring people, like I need a team now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I am right now. Like I need help, people that can educate me on things. So I'm excited about that.
That's exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
In your product line, you have that Repair Hair Growth Serum, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So when a client comes to you and you're using your products on that client and you talk about the serum or you go to reach for the serum, how do you know when, just to educate everyone, it's a concentrated formula to help regrow hair that may have been damaged by braids or weaves or whatever the case. How do you know when, okay, this person needs that repair serum, or they might need to go to a dermatologist, trichologist, someone to maybe get a little bit more extensive help?
It depends on how long the hair loss has, how long the hair loss has been going on. Let's just say, for example, if someone, it started here and it just started to grow back, the hair loss, and it's bald and clean, I can only look at it from my eyes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not looking with a scope. I have associates that do that, and I will refer them out. That way they can look at the follicle to see if the hair can, if it's alive, if it can be rejuvenated, because I don't want to sell someone something and it's not coming back.
Yeah.
Or if they need a treatment that a serum just cannot do.
Yeah.
So, like, I do have companies and businesses that I can refer them to that can do that service for them. So I can pretty much look at it and tell whether or not it's something that my product or even I can help with.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The reason I asked is because we were talking about this before we got on air. Jada Pinkett Smith had a Red Table Talk. Spoiler alert. But she said, she was getting a lot of criticism for wearing turbans, and the reason why she started wearing turbans is because, like, she would get in the shower and, like, clumps of hair was just falling out, no rhyme or reason.
Wow.
And she was just, like, so devastated. But when she wears her turban, she feels like a queen, and she was like, she was embarrassed to talk about it. But so many women I see in all nationalities are experiencing such hair loss, and it's like almost alarming, and it looks kind of like male pattern baldness a little bit, just the pattern of it all. And so many people are selling these like miracle drops or like different types of drops or oils and like pushing it, and it's like, well, when do you know if it's going to work? And if I go to a professional, will they really tell me? Will they be honest and say, go get extra help?
Yeah.
Some people will be honest, and some people just want to make $1.
Yeah.
So that's just one of those things. Me personally, if this person is my client and I see hair loss and it's getting worse, and I'm selling them a product that I'm not quite sure if it's going to work, I'm going to monitor that client, and at some point I have to say, hey, let's take this to another, another level. Let's go ahead and make an appointment to a dermatologist, and that's even tricky because just like stylists, a lot of dermatologists don't know what they're doing.
Oh yeah,
or they're just looking at a scalp and they just telling, hey,
I'm gonna prescribe you this.
Prescribe
like,
you
what?
Don't get a relaxer, which they probably haven't had a relaxer in years anyway. They could say that years ago. Stop getting a relaxer. Stop getting a relaxer. Now they can't say that because a lot of people don't get a relaxer.
Right.
So like now what?
Yeah.
Right.
Now what?
So yeah, that's a tricky thing because some people have fine hair and it's getting worse, and a lot of times I'll ask, how is your mother's hair? How is your father's mother's hair? How is your aunt's hair? At what age did they start experiencing hair loss? So I ask all those questions.
So what? Because I know we've gotten into this. I guess we could call it a trend, a natural hair trend. You know, back in the day before a lot of people weren't interested in wearing their natural hair. You know, we just wanted to get relaxers. We wanted that straight hair just for me, olive oil, whatever it was you was putting in your hair, relaxers. And then it got to a point where everybody just wanted to be natural. So what could you see as a hairstylist? Like, what was that trend transformation? Like, when did all of your clients start going natural, or, you know, have you always had natural clients? Or talk about your own personal journey becoming natural, going natural, or not getting relaxers.
Okay, so I went natural on accident, and several of my clients went natural on accident.
Okay.
How is it an accident? Please explain this to me.
And this was some years back, you know. That's when I first started wearing when sew-ins got big, you know. And I was like, okay, I want this thing. I want to sew in because I always had hair.
Yeah.
You know, so that wasn't.
You have a lot of hair too.
Yeah, I always had hair, and so I would start making my clients wait. That's when I realized I had a talent in pressing hair. And 8 weeks would go by, 12 weeks, which is 3 months, and I said, no, let's go another 4 weeks. Let's go another 4 weeks. And they was like, lady, you need my relaxer. And I did the same thing to myself. Before you know it, a year had went by, and they didn't have a relaxer, and their hair still looked the same. It felt better. So that's what I mean. It was by accident. It wasn't like they said, hey, I want to be natural. Yeah. That's just how it happened. So it's so funny because that happened before I even thought about moving to Atlanta.
To Atlanta. Okay.
So me doing that was really in preparation for where I ended up at in the commission-based salon, because it was an all-natural salon. They didn't do relaxers at all. Okay. And they had a certain type of way that they styled hair. And I was already experienced in that. So it was just like, that's how I knew I was where I was supposed to be when I moved to, like, out of all the salons in Atlanta, I end up at this place. And I felt like this is where I'm supposed to be.
So you said that they did, they had a certain way that they did hair. So when you got to that salon, you had to learn their culture. You had to learn the way that they did hair.
That's what I mean. Like, it's so ironic because I was already doing it, because they would make would make their licensed stylist be an assistant for, I think, may have been 8 weeks. They didn't make me do that.
Wow.
Because I was already doing how they was doing it. Yeah. Like curls, press, and everything. Like, I just kind of hopscotch. I just jumped on in. I was like, okay.
Did you take that as a sign that you were on the right path?
Yes. Yeah. God gives you signs.
Definitely.
That was definitely one of them, I'm sure. I want to talk to you about this textured press method you have. We're going to talk about this because I feel like so many stylists, when you come in and I'm natural and I'm like, oh, I want, straight hair. I want to get my hair straightened. When I get out the chair, it's so flat and too silky. And but when I was going through your page and I saw a textured press, I was like, I've been looking for this.
Have you always been natural, Shay?
I had a relaxer for 1 year in high school. Okay. And then I was just like, this isn't for me. Because I was going to the Dominicans, and that was back when they wouldn't do your hair if you were natural. So I went to the Dominicans for a year, and that's when they were perming me or whatever. But no, after that, I had to get back to it. I had to get off the creamy crack. But tell me about the textured press. Why do you have that? Why do you offer that?
I think one client started that. I would have a client, and this was when I was working in the salon, full salon, several stylists, and she would come and say, I want the temperature on 300, and I don't want it straight. Like, I just want it a little bit straight, but not that much straight, but this kind of straight, but I want my roots like this. And I was just like, okay. And it was so funny because when she would leave out, I didn't want anybody to think I didn't know what I was doing because her hair was still so thick. But that's how she loved it. And she sent me a picture of it. She said, well, I pin curl it when I go home, and this is how it looks the next day. And it was like Diana Ross fabulous. Yes. It was so pretty. So I realized everybody doesn't want a hard press.
Yeah. And
I said, okay, so this is a thing. And I just gave it a name, and texture press, and that's pretty much what happens. That's,
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a texture press because I know people that like to wear their hair textured and curly and twist. They just don't like it's taken so long to get all their curls uniform, so it's like, please don't mess this up for me. So that's why I made, I made it a thing. Yeah extra service.
That's dope.
Yes, it's a good thing to have.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. I will be contacting you. You also, we talked a little bit about how you grew your Instagram following, but your Facebook following, and you have a significant amount of likes on Facebook. Talk a little bit about the videos that you put on Facebook. I know last year you did a lot of like silk press, like the pros videos. You actually put out a full length type video, and then more than a silk press video. You got a lot of views on those, and it's just so good to see it in a longer format. It was before Instagram like incorporated videos. So like it was really good to see that in like a bigger format. Do you think those videos help to increase your Facebook presence?
Yes, people like videos or pictures.
Yeah.
We're just in an age of I want to see. So I was talking with someone that was kind of just entering the industry, and she was just like, basically didn't want to be a part of the social media world. And I was just like, this is just what it is. We're in the world of people want to see, no matter what type of industry. If you're looking for a chef, you want to see his Instagram. You want to see the food.
Yeah, let me see what you
want to see it, then taste it. So people love videos. They want to see and they really love live because they definitely want to see it. They can see it live going on. That's even better. But they love videos. So it did help a lot to build my brand.
How important is Facebook to you?
I'm just now getting back reacquainted with Facebook because Facebook to me was very personal at one point. And then when I didn't feel like being personal, then it was just kind of like everyone went to Instagram because then it was more so you didn't have to really know anybody personally, or they didn't have to know you to really kind of interact almost. But Facebook was more so like, from people you grew up with, family, that kind of stuff. So it was like when I didn't really feel like doing that, I was just like, okay, let me go over here.
But, and I don't think go ahead.
But Facebook is actually very important to a business. So I'm really trying to get back acclimated with it and just kind of really building that relationship back up, because at one point I had a really good interaction, and that's what it want. You don't want it to be like, oh, I'm just here to tell y'all about this product so you can go buy it. Like, salesy. No. You want people to get reacquainted with you and what you got going on in your life other than just what you selling, because it's not all about what you're selling. Like, I'm selling it because it works,
right?
Because I never wanted a product line. Like, to me, it just seemed like a big household. And I'm just like, I don't want to push products. Like, but then I realized it was a market. It was still a market. Yeah. Because I would say it's already good products out here. Like, I use some of the best products that are out here. Like, why would I go and spend my hard-earned money trying to create a product line and then you got to sell it? Who wants to do that?
Well, you're doing good. You're doing good.
So it's more than just selling something. Like, so to answer your question, Facebook is very important for a business.
Yeah, I think especially if you're doing Facebook advertising, if you're wanting to get into that, even with Instagram, like, it's a pay-to-play thing now. They changed that algorithm around, and people aren't really seeing you how, they were previously. So,
right. Social media is just really big now because people are not really watching television. Like, it is, your phone is your television.
Right.
Is your TV. And it's just very important. I don't want people to feel like, oh, I don't want to pay for an ad, or I don't want to pay this. Just think about how expensive commercials are on television, how much they were. You had to be doing very well for yourself to get a commercial on TV.
Yeah.
So social media is only a fraction of that cost. So you have to think about it in that way. Like, people wake up, like, people looking at their phone and they sleep really. Like, one eye open, one eye closed, and they looking at the phone. So, like, why wouldn't you invest in advertisement on social media?
That's true. Yeah. Very true. Let's talk about salon etiquette. So, like, what gets on your nerve? Like, when you have clients that come in and you like, no, don't do that at home. Like, don't come sit in my chair and do this. Like, what is just some things, like, pet peeves that you have with your clients?
I don't have any pet peeves.
Don't lie. Like, if I was a hairstylist, I'd be like, do not go home and straighten your hair every day. After we did this press, like, what are some things that you don't like your clients to do?
I'm sure that I have something. I will say,
I'll give you an example. Like, we've had some stylists say, like, I don't like when my clients come in and show me pictures of other people's work. Like, I just don't like that. Why? I don't know. But some stylists are like that.
Right. You know? Yeah, that particular thing doesn't bother me.
Is it like like they'll be like, don't come in and ask me to recreate this?
I've heard stylists say, don't show me other people's
but, like,
work.
if you see a particular style that you like, how does that work?
I don't know.
From the consumer perspective.
Exactly.
Like,
I don't know.
If I come in and say, I want this color red because I want this color red, I'm paying you to give it to me. Why are you mad that I'm showing you the, like, how?
I don't know. It's like makeup artists too. Like, some people are just like, don't show me other people's work.
So I'm going to bring in my Chick-fil-A cup and be like, this color red on the cup. That's the one that I want.
Somebody just mentioned touching their hair while I'm doing your hair.
Oh yeah.
I would say just not trusting.
Yeah.
If you're in my chair, then you need to trust me.
Right.
So don't try to tell me how to do my job.
Yeah.
Now you can definitely ask questions.
Yeah.
Like, my thing is ask questions because I want you to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you have any type of concern or whatever, but, like, you chose me for a reason.
Yeah.
And if you don't trust me, then let's find someone that you do trust.
Yeah.
I'll help you.
So no micromanaging. You don't like micromanaging.
Yeah, like, I don't like, tell me what you want.
Yeah.
Tell me what, your expectations are, and then let me do my job.
Yep.
And so that's one thing, feeling like someone doesn't trust me. Like, if you got anxiety about me doing something, like, that's creating, like, no.
Do you do stuff that annoys, like, your stylist? Do you know?
Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. So when my cousin does my hair, she's like, stop doing that, stop looking. But I think it's because it's family. Like, we go in and we have that personal relationship. But I won't go sit in a stylist chair and be like, I don't want that. What you doing back there? Looking in the mirror every 5 seconds. Like, I'm not that person. I was just asking because, I see, like, a lot of stylists that have, like, or even on the blog, like, we have posts that say, we have a blog where it talks about 12 things that your stylist hates. Like, hates when you come sit in the chair. Or, like, I know I've been to a stylist before where they're like, don't put any heat on your hair, like, for the rest of the week, and then you may go home and be on 400 pressing your hair out, and then you come back and it's like, what is going on with your ends? It's because you're burning it, or you're not properly using like a heat serum, or doing what you're supposed to be doing.
I think I've been blessed with some obedient clients. Now, the only thing that just popped in my head is when someone comes and they're not honest about previous color.
Yeah.
Because color is, it's chemistry.
Yeah.
And it's going to show if you had previous color. So go ahead and be honest. Say, hey, I did it. I put a black rinse on there.
Yeah.
Or I dyed it black 6 months ago, because it's going to tell, your hair is going to tell the story.
Yeah.
You can't, like, do it or cover it up. Because when we put the color, it's going to show exactly where that color, and we can tell, hey, you put black color on your hair 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So that's happened to me before, and I'm sure that's happened to a lot of stylists before.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely a pet peeve.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do that.
So let's just say a client was coming to you, it's their first time coming to you, their hair is pretty damaged. Maybe they, want to start getting their hair healthy. They're not gonna, put any weave in their hair. What do you tell them? How often do you tell them to come to you? What products do you tell them to use at home? How do they manage their hair in between their visits coming to see you?
It's kind of it's pretty simple. It's not as difficult as it sounds. If they want to, become a client and start their healthy hair journey, pretty much the average is every 2 weeks. If they can kind of commit to every 2 weeks to give me enough a chance for them to see a difference. It's just like being on a weight loss program.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see a huge difference in 2 days or a
right.
week, right? It's a commitment, right? So I let people know that's important to me, because if you just follow me and you like the way I style hair and you just want your hair done for your birthday, and you're really not trying to join, I don't have a problem with that, but that's kind of not the client that I am in the market for.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm looking for people that are ready to start a hair journey. So pretty much they come, if they can come every 2 weeks, either I tell them they can wrap their hair at night, as long as they're maintaining their hair. If they can commit to no tension for a couple of months, no tension. And that means like no tight braiding. And I'm realistic. I know if you've been wearing weave for years, it's like trying to cut your hand off, trying to say, I can't wear my weave.
Yeah.
So I recommend units, not sewn down, not glued down, just put on, take off at night.
Yeah.
That way it's kind of like I'm transitioning.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to set you up for failure. If you're used to, long, thick, flowy hair, my job is to get your real hair right. Okay. Yeah. And what can we do to come together and get this done? Like, be honest with me. If like, girl, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not wearing my hair. I'm not doing this. So if you feel that way, like, okay, can you give me 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off? Can you give me that? Yeah. Wear your hair for 2 weeks, then you can wear your unit for 2 weeks. Can you do that? So let's work together. Yeah. So that's kind of how that works when they want to become a client.
That's dope. Did you have anything else, Shay?
I just wanted to break down your products one more time.
Yeah.
So you have the moisturizing shampoo.
Yes.
Why would we benefit from purchasing that?
Moisture that keeps your ends from breaking, splitting, not breaking. Keeps your hair from just popping off mid-shaft. That's called breakage. Yeah. Keeps your scalp healthy, where you can have healthy hair growing, out your follicles. It's just a great shampoo. And conditioner.
Okay, yeah, the conditioner. Talk about the conditioner. We didn't talk about that at all.
It's a maintenance conditioner, so it's not just like a treatment. Like, you can use it weekly, or you can use it bi-weekly. Okay. However, a lot of my clients, per se, they don't really shampoo their hair, but people love have shampoo at home. So really, you wear your hair textured most of the time. Okay, so when I created the product actually was created with you in mind. Oh. Okay? Because you're shampooing your hair yourself more than just say, I'm just using you because you have your hair straight. Whereas she may go to the salon every 2 weeks. So it's like, okay, girl, I'm not dealing with this.
That's my mindset.
Yeah,
exactly.
So you are the consumer that I had in mind, because I get a lot of clients that may only come get a press maybe every 6 months, and they wear curly, and their hair is so dehydrated and so dry when they come in, because they're not using a cream-based moisturizer like they're supposed to. A lot of people are in love with the Cantu gel because it just makes their curls, do what they needed to do, but it's not moisturizing your hair. So when you come to me and you wanted me to press it, it's very dehydrated. So that's why I created a moisture line first before like anything else. Yeah.
And then the serum.
The serum, I created the serum because a lot of people was coming and they had damaged their edges. Also, like, I've experienced people that have gotten a sew-in and it was braided so tight, they come back, they literally have a bald spot. Head full of hair, and then it's just like a spot. So clearly, like, that's hair loss from tension. Yeah. So I'm like, wow. So let's do a serum that can kind of, help the process of your hair growing back a little bit faster. You know, it's not going to be like weeds growing like the next day, like here it is. Like, no, I'm not finna lie and say it's that, but it is going to aid you in that hair growing back. Yeah. And it's, like I say, it's really for a self-inflicted where you have gotten braids. It's something that you did to make your hair loss, not necessarily. And then also it's for postpartum hair loss as well.
Oh, okay.
A lot of women experience that, and we don't want to. It's just a part of the process of giving, you know, of your body just kind of getting back to normal, hormones, all of those things. So it aids in that as well. Oh, but as far as something like if you have some type of illness or hereditary, that's something a little different. And I want to say that the product is for that. Yeah.
That's good. So where can people find these products?
They can find the products at www.thehealthyhairgang.com, or you can purchase on site in Macon, Georgia at Stevens Fashions, or you can purchase at HHG Salon Memorial Drive.
Yes, so everything. And we'll put the links in the show notes for you guys. So if you're interested in grabbing some of those products, you can just click on the link and it'll take you directly to where you need to go. Any last words that you want to share? Any tips or tricks or anything that you have that you just want to, you know, share with everybody that's listening?
If it's like anybody in the industry listening, just continue to, you know, grow your business, believe in your gift, take time to get educated on the business side of owning a business. We are very, very creative beings, so a lot of the serious stuff we don't want to deal with. You know, if you don't want to deal with it, pay someone, get it done some kind of way. Because you're not going to be in your 20s forever. You're not going to be in your 30s forever. You're not going to be in your 40s forever. So preparation is like everything. And just, you know, stay motivated and just be positive. And that's pretty much it.
Yes, I love it. Where can people find you on social media, website? How can they book you? You're right here in the heart of Atlanta.
Okay, so if you're following me on Instagram, it's Nene Couture Hair. My booking link is in the bio. I'm also on Facebook, and HHG is on Facebook as well, which stands for Healthy Hair Gang. We also have an Instagram page, so if you can follow the Instagram for Healthy Hair Gang as well, I would appreciate it. Facebook is the same, Nene Couture Hair. And yes, that's pretty much it. I'm not really I have a Snapchat, and my son was like, he called Instagram faces the fake Snapchat. Yes, I was like, oh, well, let me go to my Snapchat. Right. So I went on Snapchat, but it wasn't popping.
Nobody's on Snapchat anymore, really. But shout out to Nene for hanging out with us today at Hair Biz Radio. This is episode 29. Make sure you guys subscribe. You can find us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher Radio. And make sure y'all hit up Nene. Okay, go visit her at the salon. I went to go see her. She's bomb. I think Shay's about to go get that textured press soon. So make sure you guys follow her and go visit her. And that's a wrap.